Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Green. We're doing another Bible study, Acts chapter 23. If you'd like me to come speak at your church, or if you have any questions, email me at godsohman@gmail.com. If you remember at the end of Acts 22, Paul was getting beaten when they arrested him and put in prison, and he reminded them, I'm a Roman citizen. You guys can't do this, Roman citizens, unless you put me in a trial. And the chapter ends on the morrow, because he would have known a certainty, wherefore he was accused of the Jews. He loosed him from his bands, and commanded the chief priests and all their council to appear, and brought Paul down and set him before them. So they said, we better have a really quick court proceeding. If not, we're going to get in trouble for beating a Roman citizen. Acts 23, verse 1. And Paul, earnestly beholding the council, said, Men and brethren, I have lived in all good conscience before God until this day. And the high priest Ananias commanded them that stood by him to smite him on the mouth. If you remember in Matthew 5, it talks about what happens when you're a Christian. Sometimes bad things happen. Verse 10, 11, and 12 says, Blessed are which are persecuted for my righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost its savour, wherefore shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and be trodden under foot of men. Ye are the light of the world. A city that standeth on a hill cannot be hid. So he's saying that when you're persecuted for the name of Christ, that means you're doing your job right. Sometimes as Christians we go through tribulation, and sometimes that happens because we're doing the right thing, we're moving in the right direction, we're following Christ and we're doing His work. And because the evil one, Satan and his minions, they don't like that, sometimes we get attacked. Sometimes other people don't like what we're doing. Maybe they're jealous of us. Maybe they think that we shouldn't be doing something, so they persecute us. And it's saying if you're persecuted for the name of God, it's actually a good thing. John 3:19 says, And this they condemnation that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. But he that doeth true, he that doeth good, cometh to the light, and that his deeds may be made manifest that they are right in God. So sometimes people don't like what we're doing because we're following the light. And people are used to being in the darkness, and so they might attack us because they don't like what we're doing. Acts 23, verse 3. Then Paul said unto him, God shall smite thee, thou whited walls. For sittest thou to judge me after the law, and commandeth me to be smitten contrary to the law? And when they stood by, they said, Revilest thou God's high priest? Then said Paul, I wist not, brethren, that he was the high priest, for it is written, Thou shalt not speak evil against the rulers of thy people. But when Paul perceived that the one part were Sadducees, and the other part Pharisees, he cried out in the council, Men and brethren, I am a Pharisee, the son of a Pharisee, and for the hope and resurrection of the dead I am called in question. But this is actually an important thing that he did. He saw that half were Pharisees and half were Sadducees, and he knew that the Pharisees and Sadducees believed different things. You see, the Sadducees believed that there was no such thing as the afterlife. You die and that's it. But the Pharisees believed in an afterlife. The Sadducees didn't believe in angels, but the Pharisees did. So he knew by doing this, it's going to cause a distinction between the two people. And when he had said, there arose a distinction between the Pharisees and Sadducees, and the multitude was divided. For the Sadducees say there is no resurrection, neither angel nor spirit, but the Pharisees confess both. So the Sadducees are sad, you see, because they don't believe in the resurrection. They don't believe you get to go to heaven. They believe once you die, that's it. But the Pharisees believe in heaven. And there arose a great cry, and the scribes that were with the Pharisees part arose, and strove, saying, We find no evil in this man. But if a spirit or an angel has spoken to him, let us not fight against God. And when there arose a great dissension, the chief captain captain, fearing lest Paul should have been pulled into pieces by them, commanded the soldiers to go down, and to take him by force from among them, and to bring him to the castle. And the night followed, the Lord stood by him, saying, Be of good cheer, Paul, for as thou hast testified of me in Jerusalem, so must thou bear witness also unto Rome. And when it was day, certain of the Jews banded together, and bound themselves under a curse, saying that they would neither eat nor drink till they had killed Paul. So the Jews were so mad that the Romans didn't do anything. They said, we have to get rid of this guy, because this guy believes in the Christ and the Messiah, and we don't believe in that, so we have to stop this guy. He's causing a stir all over town. He's getting these people to believe what he thinks, and we need to stop him. So these guys band together. It says they said they're not going to eat nor drink till they killed Paul. And there were more than 40 which had made this conspiracy. And they came to the chief priests and elders and said, We have bound ourselves under a great curse, that we will eat nothing until we have slain Paul. So these Jews, it said 40 of them, well, more than 40 of them, made this decree that they're going to not eat or drink until Paul's dead. And they went to the chief priest and to the elders, saying they're going to do it. So they also knew what was going on. Now therefore ye with the council slight unto the chief captain, and they bring him down unto you tomorrow, as they thought they would acquire something more perfectly concerning him. And we, or ever he come near, are ready to kill him. And when Paul's sister's son heard of their lying in wait, he went and entered into the castle and told Paul. And then Paul called one of the centurions unto him, and said, Bring this young man unto the chief captain, for he has certain things to tell him. So he took him and brought him to the chief captain, and said, Paul the prisoner called me unto him, and prayed me to bring this young man unto thee, who has something to say unto you. So Paul had his little cousin or nephew or whatever it was say, these guys are trying to kill you. And so Paul told the centurion, you got to tell who's in charge here, because if you don't tell this captain what's going on, they're going to kill me under your watch, and you're going to be responsible for it. So Paul sent his cousin in there, or nephew, I guess it would be, to tell the chief captain that his life's in danger and he's going to be responsible if something happens to him. And the chief captain took him by the hand and went with him aside privately and asked him, What is that thou hast to tell me? And he said, The Jews have agreed to desire thee, that thou wouldest bring down Paul tomorrow to the council, and that they would inquire somewhat of him more perfectly. But do not yield to them, for they lie in wait for him of more than 40 men, which have bound themselves with an oath that they will never eat nor drink till they have killed him. And now they are ready, looking for a promise from thee. So the chief captain let the young man apart and charged him, See thou no man has skewed these things to me. So the chief captain saying, I better take heed what this boy's saying, because if it's true and these Jews kill Paul, it's going to be under my watch and I'm going to be responsible. And so he wants to protect Paul now at all costs. And he called unto him 2 centurions, saying, Make ready 200 soldiers to go to Caesarea, and horsemen 70, and spearmen 200, in the 3rd hour of the night, and provide them beasts that they may set Paul on, and bring him safe to Felix the governor. So from Judah to Caesarea is about 75 miles a day. So if you was to drive that'd be about an hour and 23 minutes. But it's 75 miles from from Jerusalem all the way to Caesarea. And he wrote a letter after this manner. Claudius said to the most excellent governor, Felix sendeth greetings. This man is taken of the Jews, and should have been killed of them. Then came I with an army, and rescued him, having understood that he was a Roman. And when I would have known the cause therefore they accused him, I brought him forth to the council, whom I perceived to be accused of questions of the law, but to have nothing laid of this charge worthy of death nor bonds. And when they told me about the Jews laid wait to the man, I straightway sent to thee, and gave commands to his accusers also to say before thee what they have against him. Farewell. Then the soldiers that commanded them took Paul and brought him by night to Antipatris. In the morrow they left him horsemen to go with him and return to the castle. Now since it says they left by horsemen, I looked at how long it would take by bike. I thought it'd be about the same as a horse. And from Jerusalem to Antipatris, it's 38 miles today. So that'd be about 4 hours on horseback. That's a really long time to be on horseback. Who, when they came to Caesarea, delivered the apostles to the governor, presented Paul also before them. When the governor had read the letters, he asked what province he was. And when he understood that he was of Cilicia, I will hear thee, said he, when thine accusers are also come. And he commanded them to be kept in Herod's judgment hall. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, you can email me or you can comment below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you guys have any questions, put it down below. If you want your friends to see this, make sure you share it. And I'll see you guys next time. Have yourself a great day.